Hi everyone, today we're talking about Aurora cannabis stock, and I've kind of been like trying to make this video for quite a few days, but the problem is every time I go make the video the stock then drops so much percent. It recently just gone up a couple of percent as well, and it's been really hard because I'm going, right, it's at this price, it's at this price, and I thought, right, that's it, I'm just not going to put the price in it, because by the time I've recorded this video and edited it, the stock's probably moved quite a bit because it has been moving up and down quite a bit over the last few days. But it certainly made a big move down, and I doubt it's going to recover the 75% drop that Aurora cannabis stock has made over the last couple of days. Now, obviously, when we look at the stock chart, we can see it's a very nasty downtrend that it's been on, and this has the potential to go quite far down. I said previously before, it's one of those where, because it doesn't make profit and it's a growth stock, it's very hard to see where the bottom of this stock's going to be. So it could go down from here even more, or it's pretty much reached the bottom. But we're going to have a look today into Aurora and see what's going on in this company and why the stock's made this much downwards move, really. And obviously, if you watch my videos, you'll know that I do currently have a few shares in Aurora, so I'm going to talk about what I'm going to be doing with my shares now the stock has dropped this amount since I bought into the stock. I bought into the stock around the $4 mark. Obviously now it's towards the high $2 mark, so I am down quite a bit on my position, really. So like I say, I'll talk about my kind of view towards the end of the video. I've got to say, the first thing I've noticed over the last few days is the amount of like negative articles that have come out about Aurora. There's definitely a lot of hate out for the stock, and I thought Tesla was a bit of a hated stock, and then seeing the articles that have come out about Aurora over the last few days has kind of gone, actually Tesla isn't that hated, it's not that bad, because there's been definitely some hateful articles about Aurora. But I can understand, because a few people don't like these companies that come onto the stock market. They don't make money, they are at very high valuations, and I can understand they don't really like them stocks. But it's certainly got a little bit personal with some of the articles for sure. But overall, Aurora is down 75%, and there's a couple of reasons why it's down, and most of it comes from its earnings support. That is certainly what sent the stock really on this big downwards move to start with. And in the actual earnings report, it was kind of the big massive revenue slowdown that sent it down. It was slowing down a lot quicker than what everyone thought it would, and also this kind of led to production being cut. Now, Aurora, I've said previously before, Aurora, one of the reasons why I got into the company is because I really like, I want to have the number one player in this growth sector, which is Aurora. And because of the revenue slowing down, what they've had to do is kind of gone, hold on, we're going to have to slow down our growth plans a little bit. And that's led to a couple of the new factories that they're going to use for production. I think mainly they're in Europe. They've had to now go on the hold a little bit until we get into a bit more of a stable position, which is kind of a smart move, to be fair, that they are doing that. I think potentially they could have released that a little bit earlier than the earnings report, and that kind of goes on the management side of it. But at the same time, it is the correct move to do. I just think they could have, it's one of those where I think the management team can kind of say, you could have done that a little bit earlier, couldn't you? I think maybe if they did that and then the slowdown, it might have sent the stock down a little bit more. And the reason why they did it is because they want to protect the company and the stock. But I just think they maybe could have done that slightly better. But because of the revenue and the slowdown, it meant that they're going to slow productions more. And also another thing as well is that they are releasing more shares, which obviously puts, when there's more shares on the market, that means the actual value of the stock goes down because there's less shares to buy. So obviously they're doing that to raise cash, which they're going to need to do anyway because they don't make money at the moment. And obviously, looking at how it's going to go, it looks like profitability will be at least maybe 3 years away. So it's going to need some more cash. So it was always going to happen. Obviously, a few analysts have seen that and took that either way, like, oh, it's a bad move, it's sending the stock down because I have no money and they're going to go bankrupt. Some have gone, oh, it's always going to happen. Look at the amount of companies that have had to do it before. Tesla have had to do it before they get to profitability. All them sort of companies. So yeah, obviously that then pushed the stock down, knowing there were going to be more shares available on the market as well. So then three reasons really kind of like, really what were the significant factors on the stock being down this much. And the percentage is probably a fair reflection. It probably deserved to go down that much after releasing this kind of negative news. Another thing that I noticed as well is that it has been said, and it's getting a little bit louder now, is that even though you are now allowed to, in a lot of states, and I've said before, one of the bull cases for Aurora is that the amount of states that are going to be able to have, the amount of states that you'll be able to smoke in marijuana will be growing quite a bit over the next few years, and probably in other countries as well. And you've also got medical use that will be growing massive as well. At the same time, you've also got the black market or the drug dealers that are going to be out there, and at the moment they're still selling the products for 50% cheaper than what Aurora is selling it right now. So it's kind of one of those, are they going to be able to kind of if they bring the product down cheaper, then it's going to affect Aurora's margins, which is another negative that came out of this earnings report, unless there is more law enforcement about people that aren't buying the proper products. Obviously that's kind of like one big battle that they're going to have, and how that's going to go. That's a problem that probably will carry on for a while, because I'm not sure exactly how they're going to tackle that, apart from making the product cheaper, which obviously in the long term will hurt the company because of the profit margins being a lot more, not being as good. And obviously the whole cannabis sector is just such a competitive sector. It's probably one of the most competitive sectors out there right now. But that makes sense, because it is a market that's going to be growing absolutely huge right now. But the competition, when you look out there, there's so many cannabis companies out there right now. So obviously the competition is going to be a big, massive problem for them going forward. And also, what doesn't help when you bring all these sort of like negative news out, the big thing that doesn't really help Aurora stock is that it obviously is a growth stock. And also, with it being a growth stock that isn't making profit, that also has a lot of potential to send the stock down. Now, when I kind of weigh it against why I got in the stock, and I've always said that this stock for me is the riskiest stock I have in my portfolio. It's also the smallest stock because it comes with that risk. And it's a stock that I've always gone in with the mind of, this is a stock where I could lose all my money. It's a lot of the stocks that I invest in previously, I'm kind of like, yeah, I'm confident that they'll do really well. This is like the most risky stock by far in my portfolio. And I've said before, when you invest in this stock, it's going to be, one, volatile, and you got to be prepared for the swings in the stock, and two, you might not get the return on this one, and the money might just completely disappear when I invest in this. But the reason why I got in is because the market that this stock is in has so much potential to grow. It is slowing down compared to previous years, but still it's going to grow huge, and it's still got many states for cannabis to get legalized, and we've also got the medical, kind of like everyone can be a little bit more accepting of it right now. So the whole company I wanted to have a stock in this area because I felt like there was that much growth, and if it was successful, someone has to be successful in this area. Let's not forget, in the marijuana sector, one of these companies there's going to be two companies probably that are going to survive everything that goes on. And for me, I had to pick the company that I thought was going to be one of those two companies. And because of how far advanced Aurora were, especially on the production and the infrastructure level, kind of put me ahead of everyone else. And I like Alfrea because it was making profit at the time, and I think that could be number two, the second company that makes it out into this area that's going to be growing absolutely huge over the next few years, and I don't want to miss out on it. And I think Aurora has the potential to be number one. I think it's going to be between these guys and Canopy Growth, especially when Canopy Growth has got a big backer with Constellation Brands. I would like Aurora to team up with someone and make a nice big deal. That would help them out massive. But for me, Canopy Growth or Aurora are going to be the number one players in this sector, and I'm backing Aurora. And like I say, it's not many sectors are growing at 100%, and that's what the marijuana industry is growing at right now, and it probably will carry on growing about that rate for the next, let's say, 5 years. So in 5 years, when we look at the stock that's going to be successful in this area, whichever one it is probably going to be double, maybe triple the price that it is at right now. And I think that's a serious argument that you have to put forward. So for me, it's like I say, I have protected myself because I've invested money that I don't mind losing, and I'm ready for the volatility, and I'm prepared to try and risk that and that small position to try and get them gains, and I'm fine with that. And like I say, that's something you got to be careful of when you invest in these stocks. And going forward now, like my kind of opinion on this is that I don't really want to chase this stock in case it is the stock that loses. The size that I got in the position, I'm quite happy with. It's not a company that I don't really think about averaging into. Maybe I wouldn't mind buying maybe a few shares, but nothing huge. I'm not going to chase this stock because, like I say, in the long term, for me, it's the company that I might lose money on, and I don't plow loads of money on it. So that's kind of my opinion right now. But I mean, if you're kind of like an investor and you're like, is this now a good time to go buy Aurora Cannabis? If you look at my kind of point of view and look at the industry and think there's going to have to be someone that is the market leader in this industry, and you're looking at Aurora and it's now sitting at $2, you're like, is it worth the gamble? Like personally, I was like, oh, if Aurora kind of gets to like shoots up to $12, I'd probably sell it. But my aim is kind of like to hold this for like 3, 4, 5 years, because when I'm looking at a growth company that don't make profit, it's always a longer hold, because it takes a while for people, or especially investors, to kind of go, oh yeah, actually it's doing all right. So it's kind of got that trust issue with the stage it's at, and because of it as well, that also brings quite a lot of haters and a lot of people that don't like companies that don't make money and come out with quite high valuations, which this is. But when I look at the potential, like I say, I think this could be a good company, and that's why I've risked the money. And there's a few problems, this has brought a few problems out in Aurora Stock, but I think they can figure it out. And like I said, I won't sell my shares at the moment, but I have to say it was not the best news that has come out, and it did deserve the drop in the price. But like I say, guys, I'm not selling my shares at all at the moment, so I think I've got a few Aurora subscribers on this channel that probably were wondering what I'm doing with it, and that's kind of really my opinion now going forward at the moment. So I'll update you if anything happens, guys, but I thought I'd update you with what I'm doing with Aurora Stock. But if you could give the video a like, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you on the next video.